My name is Harry. I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
So now we are into US politics. US politics. So there's that here. This one, the reason I put it, because I was not aware the connection of things. But some of the things he's mentioning, I was aware of. But the connecting the dot, why this was done and why this happened, I did not know. Okay? So I started listening to it. That's why. And I was like, maybe I should share it. Maybe some people didn't know the connection of things. Okay, so there's that here. Watch this video. Mr. Global brings to light not only how Donald Trump cost American jobs within the oil gas industry, not only how Trump caused a crash in the oil and gas market, but also why he did it. And this was done before the pandemic. Pay attention. This guy is all about him. Oh God, please help us. But anyway. All right, let's see here. We lost tons of jobs due to the 2017 OPEC deal Trump signed when he got OPEC to boost production and put thousands of oil workers out of jobs and many companies. All right, none of you in the comment section, including the person. Okay, so let's listen to what he's saying here.
None of you in the comment sections, even including the person that made the fucking first statement of this original fucking post, haven't proven anything because you can't. You don't know how.
This is going to be a good one because I can prove it and I do know how because I'm an oil and gas expert. And you're not. Let's be honest. So if you didn't catch the comment he was replying to, someone said that Donald Trump cost the oil and gas industry jobs with his OPEC deal. They're talking about the first OPEC deal, not the second. So let's not get those confused. This is the deal where Donald Trump finally got Saudi Arabia to drastically increase production, crashing the global oil and gas market, all to lower gas prices before an election and to forgive Saudi Arabia for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi.
Okay.
Yeah, they made a deal. Trump took
that I'm aware of. And I have a suspicion how certain group of people, the same group, were involved. But let's continue.
Told MBS, I'll tell the world that I believe you that you didn't do anything to Khashoggi and you increase oil production. Here's the proof. So first of all, we all know that Donald Trump was pressuring OPEC to increase production throughout his entire administration. Let's just get that out of the way. And then at the end of 2018, they finally did it. They finally agreed to it. And here's what happened. The rig count in the United States went from 1,080 to 780. Yeah, 300 drilling rigs lost. You may not know this, but people work on drilling rigs. Yeah, that's a thing. And we lost all those rigs because this happened. Yeah, this big crash right here in 2018. Yeah. So what are the two things that occurred here? Well, Donald Trump defends Saudi Arabia's denials in Khashoggi murder. Wow. What day was that on? What day was that on? November the 20th, 2018. I wonder why that's important. I don't know. Could it have anything to do with November the 21st, 2018? The very next day where he tweeted, oil prices getting lower, great, like a big tax cut for Americans. Enjoy $54 was just $82. Thank you, Saudi Arabia. let's go lower. And guess what? It did go lower. It went lower because Donald Trump had promised Saudi Arabia not only would he not pressure them for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi, but that he would place sanctions on Iranian oil, and that would balance the market. What did he do? As soon as Saudi Arabia increased production, he granted Iran waivers and allowed them to continue to produce, stabbing Saudi Arabia in the back. And that's why these oil prices went all the way down here to well below $50. That all occurred before COVID ever happened. And that cost the U.S. energy sector about 20,000 jobs. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, so that's that. I don't want to go into all the comments, but the connection of things.
None of you in the comments
Let
section.
me pause. Okay, the connection of things I did not know. Okay, with the Khashoggi, what's his name? That journalist death, and all of that. So let's leave that alone. I thought I shared it with you because I was not aware of the connection of things. That's the only reason I shared that. Okay, next tweet. U.S. politics again. Now this, like I said at the beginning, well, I might have two parts to this video. At the beginning and first part of this recording, I spoke about where I did a video about this, and I think this is what is here. This is the thumbnails of it, where someone explained in full detail how the three branches of the U.S. government works. Alright, so when I came across this, and I thought I'd share it again. And there's another video I did prior to that where I talk on top of my head and my own way of telling you how it works. So when I saw someone who is more verbally sound than I do, I guess that's the way I could say it, explain it in a much simpler way, I thought I'd share it with you. Alright, but this one, it's almost the same thing. It just tells you what the three equal branches of our government, their role. Alright, going to change up a look today, posting about the three branches of the government every day until the election: legislative, House and Senate, Congress, executive, president, vice president and cabinet, judicial, Supreme Court and other federal courts. Three branches. Alright, so there they are here. Legislative, this is where she said here, the House and the Senate. The House have 435 members depending on population of each of those 50 states. Okay, the Senate has 2 senators from each state, which equals to 100 senators. Together, both the House and the Senate, they have to agree on the same thing, the exact same thing of a law, in order for it to go to the president. And then if the president agrees to it, then he could or she could sign it into law. Now, the judicial, which are the courts, have to interpret the law that the Senate and the House have passed, and then the president have signed into law, and the judicial, the courts, have to make sure people are following it. They interpret it. Okay, that's in the simplest way. Now, if, for instance, the House and the Senate agrees on the same exact thing, and then they send it to the president to sign, and then if the president disagree with it and said, I want something better, or to add something or remove something, it goes back to the legislative branch, and then the same process again. Usually this is where some negotiation between parties goes into play here. Okay, so if the president veto it, it goes back to legislative. They could either kill it or try to work on it further to satisfy whatever the president wants. And then there's that give and take again, the negotiation and whatever. And then both the House and the Senate have to agree on the same exact thing. How do they agree? There will be some senators from different states who disagree, which is their vote will be on the negative. And some will agree, their vote will be on the positive. The majority of people who vote for it to be law, the popularity win. Okay? there could be some states who disagree with it. States meaning their representative or their senators. Okay? But the overall, the most vote win. And then based on that, if both the Senate and the House agree on the same thing after the president have said he wanted to add or remove some stuff or whatever into whatever the bill is, both House and the Senate have to agree on the same exact thing, and then it goes to the president again, and if the president agreed to it, he or she will sign it, and that will be the law. Does that make sense? Now, if later in the future something happened and then it reaches the Supreme Court or whatever court it is, their job is to interpret it, to say this is what they mean, this and that, you then follow it or you followed it, whatever. Okay? The judge do not make laws. The president can insert some of his or her opinion on what needs to be in the law, but the majority, the law is created by legislative branches, okay, which is the House and the Senate. All right, so let's read this. That's an overall how I interpret it. All right, so the legislative branch, which is the House and the Senate, makes law, approves presidential appointments. 2 senators from each state. That's from the Senate, not the House. The House have 435. The number of congressmen is based on population. Okay, executive, this is the president, sign laws, veto laws, pardon people, and this, oh my God, Trump was even making money off of that as well. If you want a pardon, you have to pay. This guy cannot be in office. He cannot be. Okay, appoint federal judges, and this is where he took full advantage, and this is where Obama made his mistake when he had the chance to put a judge, to appoint a judge. McConnell told him, oh, we are into election season, and they knew what they were gonna do. Okay, election season, you can't do this, let's wait for the people to do. And Obama agrees, and this is how Trump got appointed 3 judges. Ridiculous. And now we are paying for it. All right, so we cannot make those mistakes again. Okay, make that be a lesson. Elected every 4 years, this is their term here. For the legislative, okay, remember, legislative is made of the House and the Senate. The House, their term is every 2 years. So every 2 years they have to run for their seats again. The Senate is 6 years. So this is the alternate things of those branches. Okay, so the House is 2 years, the Senate is 6 years, the president is 4 years, and the president could only run for 2 terms. Now, if Trump gets in office, all of this gonna be dismantled. Okay, but for the judge, the Supreme Court and stuff like that, life. They're for life, or until they decided to retire. Okay, judicial, decide if laws are constitutional or appointed by the president. There are 9 justices, can overturn rulings by other judges. All right, the lower courts. All right, this is nice, but I will note that you are missing the biggest point of the executive branch to faithfully carry out and execute the law, thus the executive name. It is so much more than a bill signing branch. It is the whole bureaucracy and the military. This is also for people who have never seen it. People have said they didn't realize how it works. It's very sad. And this is why the Republican wants to dismantle the education system. They should be teaching these things. Okay, I support helping with civics, economic, media, and news literacy. We have to counter press to even comments from mainstream media news desk fuel misconception about things like economics. Today, there's this person here, imply Trump has provided more specifics on economy and on Meet the Press. What? I have no idea what Trump wants to do. All I know is Project 25 wants to dismantle everything. Whatever we have here, like I just said, whatever we have here, they don't want it. Okay, he said he wants to be a dictator. Does dictators follow rules or anything? They do as they please. Okay, good idea. Thank you, civics. All right, so that's that. I do not have any more. This is the time where I will pick from the other list, but I'm already an hour. Okay, so let's do a prayer. Since most people in my house still haven't waken up yet, it's 6:43. I'm in the middle of editing whatever I've just recorded earlier in the night. So I came across two tweets that I thought I should share with you. And it makes perfect sense to, since I was just talking about the three branches of the government. So I thought I shared this tweet with you, and I have another one that has nothing to do with the government but with Prince Harry. So let's listen to this. Okay, listen to her. She is trying to educate you. Let's go into it. There's my comment. I think I'm the only one there, and I'll come back to it. All right, let's pause. It's pretty long. There will be a screenshot. I have a question for the people burning the American flag. All right, so let's listen.
For the people that are burning the American flag, that are wearing the Hamas headbands, that are chanting death to America, waving the flags of the Islamic regime in Iran that is systematically slaughtering my people right now. What is it that you want? Is it to be flogged for not wearing the veil? Is it to be lynched for exercising free speech? What exactly is it that you want? Those of us who came here to the last places that we had to be safe. We don't need to hear you chanting about globalizing an intifada that we've already been on the other side of, and we don't want it. The only reason you think you want it is not only because you don't know the reality of what life is like under these regimes, but because you don't even know what your own ancestors died to give you. You were born with all of the rights and privileges and liberties handed to you on a platter that you don't even know what it took to make the meal. You are so far removed from the history of toil and pain and struggle of this country.
For those who watch my videos every day, even though I don't, not every day I make a video, but sometimes I make several videos in one day but schedule them. Before YouTube changed its law to not talk about the Middle East war and many other things, I used to share with you some of the things that were going on. One of the things I remember sharing with you, and I'm seeing the image in my head as I'm saying it, it was in Iran. And I think some school girls who went to school, something happened, they removed the headband, and there was a huge uproar over there. And then I came across another video where a man literally grabbed that woman out of a car, just start beating her, kicking her, slapping her, you name it. And every other people just passing by looking at him. Okay, so thank God, may we never get to that situation. I never experienced this, but you could imagine. This is why many of us say we do not want to go to this type of situation. This is why many of us are fighting to keep what we have and improve on it. All right, so I understand her very well. I've seen the images. All right, so let's continue. Unfortunately, I cannot share with you because YouTube doesn't want that. All right, let's continue.
That you want to set fire to the legacy of. See, maybe you weren't there when women didn't have the right to vote and paid the price, and so it was fixed. Maybe you weren't there when the Constitution said that a black person was 3/5 of a person, and the people said no and paid the price, and so it was fixed. Maybe you weren't there when the Constitution said that separate but equal was good enough, but the people said no, and so it was fixed. Maybe you weren't there when gay marriage was illegal, and the people said no, and so it was fixed. Obviously, you weren't there, because if you were there, you would know that where we are today is what people are drowning in oceans, crossing rivers, climbing through mud.
What she's saying right now, it literally just happened. I think somewhere between the Texas and Mexico border, there were people crossing, and there was this family. I think it could have been a father and the kid, or the mother with a kid, drowned. And then the people across, those mean-spirited people, saw it. They didn't do anything to help them. Thank God my eyes did not see it, but I've heard of it. But there's one that I saw. That was way before Trump became in office. Or it could have been during Trump office. where people who understand the struggle many of these people are facing, running away from whatever situation they were running from, and to cross the border, they left gallons of water for them if they come across it to see it. You know what these people did? The patrol people did? They just opened the bottle of water and just spill it. And I'm thinking, even if you didn't spill it, take it. Because water is so precious. My God, there's some human being that have some crazy inner hate. I do not know where these incompassion, those savage-minded people come from. This is really hard to comprehend. So her, I understand. All right, so let's continue. Let me move it back slightly.
There, because if you were there, you would know that where we are today is what people are drowning in oceans, crossing rivers, climbing through mud to get to the border of, just for a tiny shot at life in your ivory castle. This country is uniquely structured for the will of the people to govern. That is the definition of liberty. And we're going to trade that for what? To globalize the intifada for what? For some terrorist regime to come and meet the will of the people with torture and sexual assault and whipping and lynching from cranes? No. Cut it out. See, what you don't seem to understand is that the people who fought for this country didn't do it because they hate this country. They did it specifically because they love this country. There is a reason why James Baldwin famously said, I love America more than any other country in this world, and it is because I love her that I reserve the right to criticize her.
And the thing that she's saying here is this black writer and civil rights activist. What was I thinking about it? Oh, many of the things that you see America have fought for, and to make things somewhat right, the majority of them is black people who fought for them. And then there's something that I saw not too long ago, could have been 2 weeks ago. This group, I think, was it World Central Kitchen? I don't know. It was in the Middle East. And they were giving out grain. I don't know if the things was already cooked or whatever. And this black person, I think she's also part of that religion. Her head scarf and everything, but she's black. The person, the Middle Eastern person, saw her. She was in the line first. She skipped her. Give to everybody else. The woman stood in front of her, did not give her. And I'm thinking, my God, even in that aspect, our skin is the freaking passport to be mistreated. What those Europeans have done, all I could say, I'm giving it to God, because they have done so many cruelty, and then they made your skin color to be a passport to be cruelty. And then those people, those Middle Eastern people that's going through some hardship, similar to what she's saying here, which she understand and appreciate, that I like about her. If it was for many black Americans, keep in mind when I say black Americans, there are other groups as well. There are some white people who have that compassion the same way as black Americans. Okay, so I should have added in my original recording when I was saying it. There are some white people which I've experienced myself firsthand who have go out of their way to help me. So there are some white people as well and some other groups, but I was in the moment. All right, so I just want to make this correction. Other groups as well, okay? Who's fighting, who see the compassion of many other things. Some of the relief, I know they don't have their full right and freedom, but some of the relief they're getting is because many of us, black people, other groups as well, understand the heartache that they experience, even though we have experienced our own injustice in a different way, but we learn the compassion when we see others going through some stuff, whatever it may be, even though we may not experience it in that form of their own experience. but we see the compassion to say, no, this is not right. If we were leaving it to the MAGAs, you see where we would have been? Well, we're still at a crossroad right now. We are in August 26, 2024. We are not in November 6th. That's the day after the election. We do not know which way the country is going on. So we need to think hard. And this is why I want to share this video with you. All right? Because she understands the value of our freedom, which I've been talking about long before YouTube start, putting or improving on their community guidelines and all of that. I was talking about it, and then when they saw too many things were being said to enlighten people, they start modify their guideline. Don't talk about this, don't talk about that, this and that, or you're gonna be demonetized. My other channel, PYTE, was demonetized for the entire year of 2023. Okay, but let's continue.
Because when you love someone, when you love something, you don't seek to destroy it. You want it to grow. You want to nurture it. You do not set it on fire. For all of its flaws, for all the progress that needs to be made, the difference between us and you is that we choose America. We choose liberty. We choose freedom of speech. We choose freedom of religion. We choose the right to dress how we want to dress. If you want to live under jihadist rule, throw a stone in any corner of the earth and you will find tyranny, you will find oppression. If you don't like freedom, you don't have to have it.
That's true.
You will not take it from us, nor will you destroy something that you didn't see what it took to build.
That's right. Like I was saying, oh my God, she is, it's finished. She is part on. Like I usually said, it's easy to destroy, but hard to build. Some of the things that she has said, it takes years and years to get where we are. And we're still not perfect. There's so many other things that we're going through and we're trying to make it right. And then this guy, Trump, wants to come in power and then take us way back. If he wins, I don't know when we will get to where we are now ever again, because it takes forever to build something. And the other thing I want to bring is that I want to say, yesterday I was watching a YouTube video of this North Korean military woman who defect to, I don't know, what country did she defect? I guess South Korea. All right. So she was talking about when she came to the US, she's giving speeches about the condition of North Korea and all of that. She was surprised to see how many people were willing to listen to her and who have compassion for what she went through. She had to tell some of the American people that she encountered as she gave her speech, she's very sorry for feeling because they taught her that Americans are, what was the word? It's a negative part. Like, we really bad, I'm paraphrasing now, we really bad with this type of people and all of that. But what she encountered was completely opposite. So she was like tears coming out of her eyes, how sorry she was for thinking we were bad people. Don't get me wrong. Trump, for example, look how he wants to be a dictator. He wants to take us back. There are bad people in every group, in every society, in every across the world, you name it. If it's bad, there's plenty of that. But what she encountered compared to what her country was telling her, it's completely different. So she had to keep on saying sorry, and she gave many examples where she encountered people being nice to her and all of that, and then that's not what she thought she would expect. All right. And then one of the things she said, because she didn't speak English, there were subtitles, caption, and I was reading, and she was saying something like she doesn't understand why many Americans felt the way that they felt for people in her country when they themselves never experienced it. She just cannot comprehend it, because usually when people go through these things, they understand it, and but for American to feel compassion for North Korean citizen, it blows her mind pretty much. Why we have our own freedom? Why do we care about them who's suffering? If I find whatever that particular video, I'll put it on the screenshot. I'll put the screenshot of the thumbnails. You could go and look for it. It's on YouTube. The other thing there's comment. Now I'm already 15 minutes. Maybe I'll probably create a video by itself. Let me read some of them. This is beautiful. Very American born here needs to hear. Okay, I think every. This is beautiful. Every American born here needs to hear this. Thank you. Or your for. Oh my God, she's missing some. For your post. I look forward to listen to them. God bless. Thank you once again. Perfect. We choose to keep our freedom. We're not there yet. You see, there's these people. That woman is saying something that many people should understand. And this is the word that he's saying here. And then you have 133 people who like it. I'm telling you, this is what I mean. You don't even know her. You just see the video. That's a minuscule of her whole entire being. All right, my mind goes right to, was it God Sad? And his new book, Suicidal Empathy, What's Happening in Western Culture is Such a Complex, Seemingly Illogical Phenomenon. Well, what I think is happening here is that there's a group that want to be in full control. The best way for them to be in control of the world is through medias. The UK, it's there. You could see from, forget UK, because there are some good ones who's not drinking the Kool-Aid, like the byline journalists and all of that. But if you go to Russia, for instance, the media have taken over, and some other videos I've said it's very dangerous with that type of propaganda that they keep on spewing to the people, because now the war is in their country. They don't know the truth, what's coming, so they could prepare themselves to be in safety and all of that, and then the war just come right to them. Alright, so there's a group that wants to control every human being. This is purely evil. I don't know, that's the only way I could say. But through that, what they're trying to do is, which they're getting, we could see from the UK, the propaganda machine. And I don't know about Australia. Sometimes I read some comments from people from Australia. They're saying certain thing, and I know Murdoch is from Australia, but he's American citizen, and he's already trying to ruin Fox News, for instance. Perfect example of what happened in the UK. And then you see now the US is the media aspect of the US is almost the same thing as the UK. But the thing is that, this is the light of Harry and Meghan, is that we learn from what they've done, especially Kamala Harris, have taken pretty much a good page out of Harry and Meghan's ordeal, and they don't speak to the media, so the media don't distort their word, because they want to frame like Harry said, they don't create the news. They don't report the news, they create the news. So they already have an idea of what they want out of, well, now, because before they were full focusing on Biden. Kamala Harris came out of nowhere. It's like they were blindsided by Kamala Harris, and Kamala Harris, who's on top of things, took a page out of Harry and Meghan's ordeal. And the nonsense that the UK put Harry and Meghan through made it worldwide, and people were able to see it. Other than that, I don't think Kamala Harris is very smart, so who knows, I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, she has not sat down with any mainstream media. During the convention, some of the things that I come across, which I was not aware, some influencers, YouTube, who have different platform, who's talking the truth, okay, despite what other mainstream media are saying, who wants to let people know what's going on. So during the convention, the DNC, Democratic National Convention, I think gave a spot to some of those creators, for instance, like Midas Touch, for instance. You have judges, I don't know, I think he's retired or something, I forgot his name, who they will interview. And I think at some point, who did they interview? Was it President Biden? These are professional, licensed lawyers who saw the wrong that was happening in the country and decided and said, okay, the media have been hijacked. We're going to create our own platform to inform people. All right. But there's a group that wants to brainwash people so they could control. All right. So let's get back to the original recording. Okay. Burning the American flag should be resulted in deportation and of one observation with respect to the 3/5 compromise is that it was not a black person who was considered to be 3/5 of a person. Okay, it was a compromise with the southern state at the constitutional okay, but I got the idea what she's saying. Okay, she was just giving what was happening in our history. One person wasn't considered one person. Okay, I don't know how you see one human being is either 1/3, 3/4, or whatever. Let me see, there's 3 comments on the, oh my god, that's a bio, forget that. I don't have time for that. I wish I could make everyone watch this. Thank you. That's the clap. Wow, so powerful, even poetic. I think so too. God bless. Beautiful. That's the clap. Very well said. Damn, that I think beautiful. Let me go to my comment. This is the squatty who posted it. And this is my response here. Girl, I think this is the best explanation to what we, the people, are fighting to preserve. MAGAs will be the first to cry under any other form of government. It reminds me of the Canadian family who sold everything to move to Russia. Second they got there, their money was taken by the government and they wanted to come home. That's that. Now, I'm gonna insert this in one video that I'm editing right now, but the other one that I'm putting has to do with Harry, and I think I'm gonna create a separate video with what I just shared with this one. All right, sorry if you see them twice. I came across it after I finished record my first recording. Okay, there's this here. There's that here. That's from of the squaddies. Prayer for Has, Meg, Archie, Lily, and Miss Doria. May you bless and protect Harry, Meghan, Archie, Lily, and Miss Doria. Guide them and direct their steps. May you bless them with health, joy, and peace. We pray for their vindication, for justice. Cancel all the threats, hate, harassment, and return them back tenfold to their enemies. In Jesus, amen. Alright, so there's this. Those who trust in the Lord are as secure as Mountain Zion. They will not be defeated, but will endure forever. Psalm 125:1. Okay, so that's that. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that is it. So there might be part 1 and part 2. I don't know. I'll see how I feel when I'm editing. Alright, thank you for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
we ask for forgiveness and please come back.
As you saw me find the love and happiness that I'd hoped for all my life. You are all in this together, and if I may speak personally, we are all in this together, because asking for help was one of the best decisions that I ever made. You will be continually amazed how life changes for the better.